All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this post-Christmas afternoon meeting this Monday, December 27th. Shortly after 2:30 Eastern time, great to see Ari, great to see Norman. Ari, who just locked up a really nice trade on the MBOT stock we got up on the screen here. Great to see all of us otherwise, though, joining us live inside the Cyber Group trading room, or if you're joining us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. So, we got to go quick here on two accounts, really. We haven't talked about Bitcoin since, what was it, Wednesday last week, really. We were off on Friday. So I want to just go over that at the end, but I want to go through things quick because we have the Phase 2 stock course lined up this afternoon. So at 3 o'clock Eastern time, continuing on with the Phase 2 course curriculum. Lesson number 2, we're going to continue our talk on time and sales. So, specifically in relation to going short. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't know why MBOT is on this ticker here. That should be the SPY. I was about to say, who knows what will happen heading into the close here. We might happen to see a bit of a slip, off the highs going into the afternoon. Maybe that could provide a short opportunity. We'll see. It's hard to fight that trend, though. But, we'll see. We'll see what we can add to our watch list going into the afternoon. MBOT on our screen to begin. Just popped right now. Ran from 8 up towards just about 890. And right now, the volume's been dropping off minute by minute. So to me, it needs to bust to move quick. Otherwise, I feel like it's going to bust right back down. So, I'm not fully committed to this yet. Even it's very volatile, very active, trading a lot of volume per minute still. Albeit, like I said, the volume was kind of dropping off for a moment here. Could this be the big pop? Is this about a bust to move? Filled an order at 875 or tried to break over this order at 875. All right, maybe it's trying to prove me wrong. I'll slip it on our list, I guess, for right now. It's volatile enough, trading enough volume, so I'll put it on the back end, just for right now, and we'll come back to this at the end of it all. All right, so we'll see what else we got here thus far. For any of the other big movers, we'll end up just kind of commenting on them pretty briefly. For any one of us live inside Cyber Group, last traders talk of the calendar year tomorrow. So if there's any trades from today, be it the PYR, MBOT, etc., you know where to find me. I'll be right here live inside this trading room tomorrow morning. Send over any trades that you would want me to actually review in full, as we typically do in Traders Talk, right over to my email address. All right. PYR to begin. It looks like it got halted a couple of times on the way up, if not maybe just once, but ended up failing to break higher, started to go the other way, and right now not a whole lot happening here on the chart. The FTFT trade, this one ended up surprising me, and this one's still pretty close to the highs. Again, the volume has been dropping off across the last, hour and a half, really, but ended up making a nice higher high. So I feel like right now it needs to really get going. Otherwise, I feel like this could be the end of the road. No harm, though, in us putting this on our main watch list just to begin. More of a level 1 stock, level 1, maybe level 2, but good intro stock here. Tight spread, really good liquidity on the order book, and just the only question you got to ask is for how much it already moved up today, how much more can it keep going? So, if it's not now, then if it doesn't completely tank from here and it just kind of coasts for the next hour, then certainly by 3:30, you better expect this thing to, or this thing better be making a move. Otherwise, it's just not worth it. Another one with a second win type of move here. The AVCT stock ended up making a really good move upon the market opening up. Popped at first, ended up making higher lows, higher highs once it broke over 240. And then from there, took off just, I know Fausto hit the nail on the head with this too. He called it out spot on. Ended up calling out the resistance on the offer right off of 275 on the ask. That is. So ended up topping off right there, an order stacked up on top of it after that point, and from there this thing just came right back down. So you would like to think it's not going to make this type of move up again. It did. Well, it's more of a teaser right now than anything. Kind of same line of thinking as the MBOT stock, but at least MBOT's more volatile in the sense of providing maybe a quick scalp trade. With this, I just don't know yet. So I'm more reluctant on this than the MBOT. And for right now, we'll kind of put this on the side. Familiar name, SPRB, right? SPRB from last week ended up making a big move today, ended up popping not right out the gate, but ended up breaking higher off of 4 heading into the mid to late morning from there. While we were in class, Rich was calling us out, and I turned over to this trade quickly at the time. We weren't going to trade it, of course, while in class, but it's just to say we caught it at the wrong time. It wasn't moving at the time, and probably right after we turned away from it, did it end up making the big pops. So right place, wrong time, I reckon. But SPRB right now, same rules apply. Ended up making a big move up already. It's not near the highs, so I'm not as keen to watch it thus far. See if there's anything else. REL Live from earlier today, same thing. Nice pop, at least from the morning. This was a dead duck. A huge disappointment on CEI today. Familiar name, right? So for any one of us that traded CEI back a few months ago, then you certainly hope to see this type of activity in pre-market, right? I mean, this is a gold mine because if he did well on it, why not? Or if he did well on it, why trade anything else? So you might be more inclined to follow this. And with that, this thing just offered next to nothing. I mean, it did make a squeak of a move back up here from 1, broke under and over $1, moved up, but waiting a long time for that. That's for sure. All right, keep it going. We keep it moving here. Man, this Boyle ETF is like up so much right now, just in relation to where it's at. Yeah, it's completely taking off right now. I saw it off of 28.50 going into the meeting, so I didn't know exactly where it was at this time, and well, only pushed up much higher. So yeah, this is an ETF, folks. So listen, I'm going to put this on our list given the trend. It's within our price range to a degree, and order book isn't that bad. So if you are more of an ETF trader, if you're someone who knows how to trade an ETF or uses different indicators aside from level 3, then give it a shot. But otherwise, though, if that doesn't apply to you, then I would say that using level 3 to trade an ETF in general, whether it be Boyle, UVXY, which we trade more than anything really, or like VIX, whatever, it's extremely difficult to apply level 3 to trading those ETFs. It's just very it's much more difficult to locate the iceberg orders in total. They blend in much better. All right, so we keep it going. Boyle for right now, we'll put on our list here, at least for those that want to trade it. APT, a little slow. Ended up making a new high earlier, but fizzled back down. It was like a bit of an ugly shake, actually. Bohr, familiar name. This stock ended up making a big move for us, I think, during the pandemic, right? Probably during the recovery. Right here. Oh, no, that was 21. Give me a quick sec. Let's see if we can go back. There we go. So during the pandemic, we ended up trading this Bohr stock. It's a drilling stock, oil drilling stock. There were a couple of others too. WLL, Bohr, OAS, if I'm not mistaken. These huge pops here. So familiar name, just not really doing a whole lot right now. Near the highs, I reckon, but I don't know. Not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute for me. All right, I feel like there's a lot on the gainer side here today. There's just a lot up with the market. So AEHR trying to make a move back up to its all-time highs back that it's set from early to mid-November here. We're following the stock really across the summer, breaking all-time highs off of like 16, I think it was back then. I don't know. For right now, same thing. Just there's not a whole lot of trades right now, folks, heading into the end of the year that look that great, moving like on a really strong trend up. There might be some stocks that are very heavily shorted across the calendar year that are getting a bit of a push up. We thought that was the case on Nikola this morning, and oh man, that thing went the complete other way, unfortunately. So, CODX, nice pop from earlier. Again, just ended up coming back down though. Not a whole lot happening here on the chart for right now. XXII, I forgot about this one briefly. Choppy. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list, folks. We'll see if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. I guess I'd check out GRTX first. I feel like I'm going to jinx myself by not checking this out. Nah, not a whole lot going on there either. All right. Man, talk about stocks that don't come back. This BBIO, same thing that happened on the ALLK from last week. You hope to see a stock down 70, 80, 90% like that one was last week, for that to make some sort of short-lived run up as the shorts cover, dead cat bounce type of play. I guess you ended up seeing a small squeeze up from like 11.30ish, 11.25 up $1. That's it. So not a whole lot really happened on this trade. Don't try and hold your breath waiting for that move to happen. Maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know if anyone can hold their breath that long. All right, keep it going. NVAX down big. Pretty expensive, though. CLVS down big. This one's more within our price range, but it's like watching the grass grow on the way down there. And folks, I think that's just about it for me. Just about to go into crypto land for a quick second. If there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to check out, just type it in the chat board for all of us on social media, that is, and for all of us in Cyber Group too. You don't want to force any stocks on our watch list here at this point. We got 2 stocks and an ETF. That's it. All right, so I'll bring up Bitcoin pretty quick. So we last talked about it when? It wasn't even Friday, right? It was Wednesday the 22nd. Jeez, almost a week ago. A lot goes on in over a week's time. So this is where we were back on Wednesday last week. Nice pop up, as I was hoping, not to say anticipating, but you were anticipating, if anything, for these moving averages on my 6-hour chart. Just go back to that last meeting, and I was saying the same thing. For the 200 and 500 EMAs to hold as resistance initially. So most recently, I'm going to jump to the hour chart here because I ended up jumping out on some positions that I was in anticipation of a pullback right here on this second to last bar. As it ended up closing under this peak, I ended up getting out. And, I still have a lot, I got out on like play money, that is. So, in terms of how much I have in total in Bitcoin, I'm still holding on, or hodling, as they say, to a large amount, but it's just or large amount for me, not large amount for anyone, really. But you know what I mean? Just to say, a large portion of my portfolio I'm holding on, investing, whereas, I'm using some play money to trade around with. So that money I ended up getting out with right around here as it peaked off, or as it closed from under this last peak. And I'm going to buy back much cheaper if it ends up pulling back a little bit closer. Give it a day or so, I think. If it ends up popping back up, maybe I just jump right back in with that play money. We'll see. But, pretty much it ended up moving up right up towards the moving averages I had on the 6-hour graph. And from here, I'd anticipate a little bit of a pullback shake. Keep your eyes on the trend line that was building pretty nicely up off the lows here since December 20th. That'll be something to watch. Brian says, wondering why BTBT is getting hit so hard. I'll tell you what, at this point, not to sound blunt, I don't care. I got out under 9 and I took a loss for it. I was in from average price. It was like 1060 or 1062. At first 11 added more over 9, but then once it broke under 9, literally the next day I got out. So I'm very happy with at least getting out where I did. Could have been way worse in the grand scheme. I ended up using part of that money though to put into play money for crypto. So part of the money I'm actually referencing from crypto that I got out of is the BTBT funds. Earnings out today. I don't have a list of earnings out for today, Kevin. I would assume the list out for earnings would be thin just because we're still in holiday season. If you're asking if it's BTBT in specific, I don't know. I don't know that answer, unfortunately. All right, I think that just about does it, though, folks. In the time I was flapping my gums about Bitcoin, not a whole lot has happened. It seems like, at least. I don't see any other call-outs across YouTube or Facebook Live or across the Cyber Group room. Just going to check Benzinga Pro pretty quickly here. Making pretty good use on time. Yeah, I don't see anything else that looks that great, folks, that are like near the highs, breaking new highs right now. No familiar names that are coming across my radar. All right, that just about does it. I think that we're just about good, folks. For all of us on Facebook Live or YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. If you are a new attendee joining our afternoon meeting here, I always like to place my email in the comments, josh@ctutrading.com. Any questions, any comments, any, not to say concerns, but any feedback that you may have with Cyber Trading University or just these meetings in general, just if you're looking to learn more, feel more than free to send over a quick email. If you've been watching these meetings and are ready to join us live, just to continue the audio commentary for today, for this week, and maybe heading into the new year. You don't have to start today. You could actually start get the trial today and delay it to begin going into next week, heading into the new year. You could do that by going right down to the link on the banner below the stream there, just to get yourself signed up. But no problem at all. Grant and Kevin and Leda and Brian and all of us otherwise. Listen, not a big list. Not a big list thus far, folks. 3 tickers, 2 stocks, 1 ETF. So really, for most of us, it's just 2 so far. What that means is don't force anything out there. You know the deal. If there's anything that makes a real pop, something that you know would be a great call out, then call it out. If not, though, if it's like a little tiny, maybe potentially, hold off on it, folks. Hold off. That's it. We're heading into the end of the year. There's not a whole lot moving generally. So, start with this list. And then if there's anything else out there around 3 o'clock, maybe 3:15, then look to scan the market a little bit more, seriously at that point, as I say. All right, folks, I'll speak to most of us, at least coming up in class. Again, the Phase 2 stock course, Rich posted the link in the chat board, at least for all of us there live. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.